Welcome back. It's been a while, but I wanted to show how to get in-app purchases working in Unity. There have been a few changes since I did it the last time, and some of the stuff seemed a little bit iffy this time around. So let me take you through how I did get it working. Step one, open up your services menu over here. We can find that under Window, General, Services. And then you're just going to want to turn on, click this in-app purchasing. It should pop up a dialog, looks like this one. And you're going to want to turn that on. Update your package if you're not up to date. I was not, so I did that. And there's a button right there to just right here in the dialog, update to the latest, which is kind of nice. Now, if you scroll down, you'll see that it wants you to enter the key for the Google public key for this application. Where do we get that and how do we enter it? Let's take a look at that. We're going to go to the Google Play dashboard. Go to your Google Play dashboard. You're going to need a Google Play account. You're going to need to create an app on the Google Play account. So once you've done that and you've got that set up, you scroll down, you select your app, first of all, select your app, and then scroll down to the monetize tab, or the monetize area here, and hit monetization setup. And on there, you should find there is your RSA public key. That's the key that they want. So you can hit the copy button, and that'll put it on your clipboard, and then you can just enter that key right there. And this is where I ran into a snag. When I hit verify, I get this, that you are not authorized to set the license key. When you do it, hopefully you do not run into that problem, but you might. So if you do, like I did, you go to the Unity Gaming dashboard. Either you will have created this project ahead of time, or if you didn't already have it, then when you tried to add purchasing, you would have been prompted at that time to set up a new project with Unity. Right here on project settings, there's a spot where you can enter your Google license key here on the dashboard. So just hit that and then paste it in there instead of using the editor dialog. Apparently this does not happen for most people, but for me, I get this error, and then when I reboot, it'll be gone again. But because it's on the dashboard, that's what it really needs. So there's some kind of glitch with this dialog. No big deal. The next step is going to be creating some products that you can purchase in the app. If it's a brand new product, you haven't set up any testing versions yet, you don't have access to. It's an interesting quirk of Google Play's design. You can't add objects to purchase until you have an APK uploaded. And obviously we don't use APKs anymore. It's actually now an AAB that you're going to be uploading. But you have to upload something first, and then you can add products. So you're going to go back to your Unity. If this is your first time doing it, you're just going to want to do a build, an Android build. It must not be a development build. And you are going to want to build for Google Play. Okay, so go in here, make sure development build is off, make sure build app bundle is on, select public symbols, and there's something more. Since it's not a development build, it must be signed. So we're going to go to the player settings, and we're going to go to right here, the Key Store Manager. And when you open the Key Store Manager, you can create a key store. So do that, create yourself a key store, save it on your local drive, create an alias in the key store, create a password, and set that up. I am going to select, I already have one set up. I have user.keystore already created and saved in here. Interesting quirk about Unity and building for Android. The password, as you can see here, the password is not saved. So every time you shut down Unity and you open it again, that password gets wiped out. I can't tell you how many times I've done a build and then boop, it's like you hit build and then it says, we can't sign this because we don't have passwords. So you got to start over. So let's see, let's put the password in. And then there should be an alias in there and that you created. We're now ready to go. One other thing I do want to share with you as you're doing these is the builds have to be incremented. You cannot upload the same number that you've already used. So you can see here I'm on version 3, and if we go on to my Google Play console, you can see that version 3 has already been uploaded. Version 3 is currently available to internal testers, right? So 3 is up and live already. So I can't use 3 again. If you do a build with 3, Unity will let you, and then the Google Play Store will let you upload the entire file. And only when the file is finished uploading will it finally tell you, I can't use this file. You've already used that number. And then you have to start over. Keep track of what number you're on, increment the number every time you're going to do a build, and then simply punch the build. If you're not using the Google bundle services, and maybe we'll get to that someday, but if you're just using standard Unity build, then that's all you have to do is just build it right from here. And if you've got that box checked, you'll see that it'll say you're building an AAB. So build your AAB, and that'll be right there ready to go. All right, now once you've built your AAB, you come over here, you say create new release, and you just drag your AAB file and drop it right there. It will upload. Once it's done uploading, down here on the app bundle, you'll get 3 little dots will appear right here. And in there, you have the option to upload the symbol file. And the symbol file is side by side with the build when you make it in Unity. If you checked the option that you wanted it, if you check public here for the symbols, it'll make you a zip file that has the symbols, and you can just upload that one right there, and then it'll eliminate one of the warnings that you get. So here we are. Here we have uploaded the file. Once you've uploaded the file and entered your information, you save it and you review release, and then you roll it out. And then let's just discard this one because we're already done with that. Once you've rolled the first one out, you can then assign your testers here, and they can then download the app on Android devices and try it out. But more importantly, the reason we had to upload this AAB in the first place was that so that we could now go down under monetization, under monetize, in-app products are listed there. And this is where you can go and create your products. So you create your products here, and this product ID is now what you're going to use for your transactions in game. So we'll need to know what those are. Obviously, they need to be unique. All right, now that we've got products on the Google Play Store and we've added them to our existing APK, now we can finally program Unity to let us purchase them. We can now go to the services menu, in-app purchasing, and you can hit configure, which will take you right back to where that was. But you can also now look at your catalog. And I say look at your catalog. It's not going to pre-populate the catalog for you. It would be nice if that would just suck that information down. It's not going to. So you're going to have to come down here and transcribe, just copy in all that same information. So we have the ID that you created. And then I ran into another snag where I got an error message, and I think it was because I left this information blank. So I have just copied the information line by line from the Google Play Store. Just copied it all in. The only things that you do need on here are the ID, mark that it's a consumable or not, and then fill in the title and description. I think it's a little bit of a unsure at this point, but I think that that's what was the source of one of my errors. I did not have anything in this slot. So let's fill those in, and then all the rest of this stuff, we can just leave it. Just like there's stuff here, but you don't need that. So we will leave that all as is. So there's my 4 items you can buy for the game. Next, let me take you to the forum post on this. You would be advised not to use Codeless. It has not been updated in some time and has missing key features. Instead, I would recommend that you start with this project, and then there's a link to where to get that project. So let's follow that link. And I'll try to remember to throw the link for that down in the description so you can just go straight to it. And the latest version is right here. You can download this project. It's a complete Unity project. You can just download it and launch it and set it all up and try it for yourself. Really, the core of that project is in one script file. Here it is. Here's the original from the sample project. And you can see that they have some products set up, and just the whole flow of the code is all set up here. Although in the sample project, each step would be a manual click with a UI button that drives into this code. So I have automated a little bit of it. You know I love the self-instantiating singleton, and so I did that. If you don't have a purchase manager, we're going to go and get one. And what I've done is stick it on the game manager. Game manager, I already have an object for that. And if I don't, this self-instantiating singleton will create one. And then onto that object, I'm going to stick a purchase manager. They can just buddy up on there. That's great. Okay, what else am I doing on here? I call initialize. Great. What is initialize? Initialize. This is actually missing from the sample code that Unity provided. They did not initialize Unity services. So when I ran the sample code, it generated warnings saying that I need to do this first. I don't know how strong a need that really is. They seem to be pushing it, though, with their warning messages and various other things that we'll probably encounter in a later video. So I did add Unity services initialize, which is an async feature. So then we'll wait until that's completed and then do the initialize purchasing, which is a button in the sample code, but I don't want the user to have to push a button for this. Now, what happens here? We are building our catalog of available options, and you'd kind of think that after I filled out a dialog that had that and I entered that information up on Google, that I should be able to retrieve this information as opposed to typing it in again. But, and there may even be a way to do that, but boom, let's type it in. Just super easy. There's only 4 items. In a previous video, I think I showed that I set up a whole loader for these. It's not worth it. There's 4 items. It's just going to be a whole lot easier to just put those in. And I want to show you how this works. So I just put them in. All right. And then what else is in here? There's a bunch of code. It's all callback driven. So we'll see that initialize doesn't actually finish the initialization until you get the callback on initialized. And then at that point, you're good to go. Or there's the potential that the initialization has failed for some reason, and you'll get an error on that. What else can we do? Well, we can buy a product. So this is the core of buying a product, and I have made a public function for this so that that can be called from the store UI. What does that do? Well, it goes and makes sure that the product even exists, and then calls initiate purchase on that product. And then what happens is, once again, this is going to be asynchronous. It's not going to be an instantaneous. I did add a bool to my function, which is to tell me that this was a legal item to purchase, or if it returns false, that's telling me that actually you can't even initiate a purchase for some reason. So that doesn't mean that the purchase went through. That means that the purchase started. Where does the purchase get completed? That's going to be process purchase or on purchase failed. So if the purchase fails because maybe the user declines their credit card, or they say, oh wait, I didn't know it was going to be so much money. I didn't mean to hit that button. Cancel, cancel, cancel. They have that option, right? And so the possibility is that you didn't get anything. You didn't buy anything, and I just have an error log for that. No confirmation is happening back to the player for it. On the other hand, if this is called, if process purchase is called, that means it seems to be successful. And so we then can figure out what to do at that time. And that means that over here in the UI, let's take a look at the store UI. What are we doing now? Now we're not going to grant those 5 crystals in the store UI anymore when they hit buy. Instead, hitting buy is just going to play the sound. It's going to go ahead and play the cash register sound, but it doesn't do anything else because it's entirely possible that the purchase might not succeed. So if the purchase does succeed, it'll come over here. And so the simplest thing, I could set up a call, you could set up maybe a callback to invoke back up to this buy crystals game object to tell the game object that the purchase succeeded or whatever. But that's kind of complicated when all I need to do is this. So I'm just going to go ahead and grant. I'm going to recognize the ID by name, just hard-coded that in there, and then grant the 5 crystals that you bought. So if you have lots and lots and lots of objects, or you have a design team that can create new objects and add them, this is not the approach that you would use for that, but to just see how the system works with these 4 items that you can purchase, I've just got that hard-coded in there. Obviously, you're going to want to try this in editor first. And here they are. Here's the items that you can buy. And now when you want to buy one, boom, it went through. And if we check our console, we'll see what happened. Purchasing product and the name of the product. And then the receipt came that it was successful. So process purchase came back as complete. So you play an editor and it's just rigged up to just complete successfully. Now that you've done that and you got that much working, you can build it again. Don't forget to increase your build number, and then go ahead and build and upload once more onto your Google Play Store. So here we are, we're in the app. I have downloaded this app. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the reset save button. Go to the store. Here we are in the store. We can look at our various items. And let's buy some crystals. Let's buy 10 crystals. And then it comes up with this. This is set up, configured to be in test mode, which is obviously what you're going to want. And I have slow test card approves. These are the options. What are the options? You could do test card always approves. So that's just going to instantly approve the transaction. You can also say test card declined. So this is what happens if someone tries to use a card that's going to get declined. And then there's slow versions of both of those. So either they hit purchase now and it takes some time for it to process before it comes through, or they hit purchase now and it takes some time and then it says no. So you can test all of those things, and of course you're going to want to test all of those things that they work before you publish your game. For today, let's just do approves, and I'm going to buy 1 of these 10 time crystals. Boop. And I'm not gonna join that. And you can see it updated right away with my 10 items that I bought. And now I can buy my Never missiles, and we see that the crystals have been spent. Okay, so super happy with that. That's in-app purchases, all ready to go. You know, I should go through the Apple version for all of this too. The beauty of the Unity thing is that it unifies all of that, so I don't have to do any more setup in Unity to make that happen. I just have to go to App Store Connect and configure my app on there as well, and then we can do the same thing with Apple devices. Let's call that the end of today's video. Thanks for watching, and let me know if there's anything that wasn't clear that you want to go over. Shoot me a comment down below, and I'll see if I can help you out. Okay, see you next time on the DevVlog.